Match.com in 2011. That was the time when you could make up your own like CB radio kind of handle. Mine was Ann, but the people that I was interfacing with had names like Throb Monster and Good Pipe Layer 69. So that made me a little irritated, and I was a little amazed by that. So I made a top 10 list of the top 10 best names from Match.com. And I think it was Good Pipe Layer 69 who reported me and got me banned. But before I got banned, I gave it a shot. I got a 3-month membership, and I thought, well, this is it. I'm divorced. I would like to hang out with somebody. It's nice, it's fun. So I tried, and I met a pilot. He was a commercial pilot, and then he changed to, or morphed into being a pilot for just flying rich people around Tucson. Okay, so we dated for a while, and one morning at dawn, yes, I was there overnight. I'm so glad that my kids are both working tonight so they can't hear me say this stuff. It's kind of embarrassing. At dawn, I heard bang, 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 and somebody walked into the bedroom and started yelling at him. And I'm blind without these. I can't see anything. So I'm fumbling for my glasses trying to figure this out. I hear him talk to her. It was a female voice. I put my glasses on. She had a gun. She was mad because she didn't know that he, Mr. Pilot, was seeing somebody else. And I didn't know. I thought he was single. He's on Match.com, right? Yeah, I learned fast. So he ushers her out. She has the gun. He ushers her out to the foyer. I collect my stuff. I come out, and I realize that I have to go past them to get out to my car to save my life so I can survive this thing. And it was a little awkward, but I did. I got past, I said, "Excuse me, I'm sorry." And I looked at her and said, "I'm so sorry. I had no idea. No idea. He's an asshole. And I'm really sorry. I'm a ghost. You will never see me again. He is all yours." And I went out. I was trying to get to my car so I could get in my car and survive this thing. And so I kind of looked behind me, and she was following me with the gun. He had shut the door, leaving these 2 women that he had like effed over outside. Like, what are you thinking? So we walked out to the driveway where the garage door is open, and I was standing next to her, and I said, again, "I am so sorry. I had no idea. I'm out. He's a dick. I'm never, no, he is all yours, and I'm really sorry about that." So she said, "I know, really, isn't he an asshole?" I'm like, "Yeah, he is." And she put the gun down, and her finger was not on the trigger anymore. So I kind of relaxed a little bit, thinking, I'm going to survive, I'm going to live. So we started talking about what an asshole he was, and the garage door is open, so I see him, we both see him, there's a door on the inside of the garage, and I see him, I see it open, just a crack, and I see his finger come out, and he presses the switch to close the garage door while we're both looking at him like, not only was he an asshole, chicken shit. So we talked, and it was, I think we hugged, I don't know, I was just desperate to get out of it. So we left, and Godspeed to all involved. I was out. Pilots, no, just no to pilots. Okay, but I thought, okay, I bought a 3-month membership to Match.com. This is before I got banned at the end of it, not at the beginning. So the second time I met this man, my parents live in Pennsylvania, Western PA, Pittsburgh area. So I always go back in the summer, and this year I went back for a good 5 weeks, and I had met this guy online who was 6'6", he was gorgeous. We communicated all summer, we texted, we did the messaging thing for you young people. Are there any young people? We DM back and forth. It was really exciting. And so we talked back and forth, and it was for about 5 weeks. So we didn't meet each other in person, but we talked. Smart, funny, he was taller than me. It was awesome. He was kind of cute too. So I get back, our first date, we planned it was to go for a hike when I got back to Tucson. So I got back and we went to Sabino Canyon and hiked Telegraph or Telephone, I don't know if it's Telegraph or Telephone Hill Line. Anyway, it's a nice kind of flat entrance, and then you go kind of straight up and you get to the top, and it's a drop off on 3 sides, like on the front, on both sides, so you can't go anywhere unless you fall off. So we were standing up there and he said, I have to tell you something. And mind you, we had talked a lot. I have to tell you something, and I thought, oh, he's gonna say, I love you. What do I say to that? I love you. What does love mean? I don't even know. Have I ever said that? I love my kids, I love cats, what do I do? So I'm like in my mind, I'm like, what should I say? He didn't say, I love you. He said, I spent 29 and a half years in prison. All right. And at that moment, I dissociated. I became 2 people. Like hypnosis. Part of me was like utterly fascinated, like, what the fuck? The other part was like, stay alive. So I tried to become normal. Like, what do you say to somebody who says, I spent 29 and a half years in prison? 29 and a half years means you did something wrong, right? Yeah. So I said, oh, for what? And that's when he started talking in the third person and in the passive voice, and I knew something was wrong. I found he was very young, he was married very young, he and his wife were very young, I don't know, like teens or something. They argued, and at one point he found himself with his hands around her neck, and she then wasn't breathing. I'm like, was that because of you, or did she just, what? Anyway, I knew something was really wrong. And so on the way, this is at the top of the mountain too. So we're walking down, and I made sure he went in front of me, and I was like, part of me was like, okay, what does a person ask? So how was prison? Or like, how was the food? Like, I don't know, because once he told me that he killed his wife is what he told me. Like, okay, I don't want to go there. Let's just get out of this. So we walked down. This is going to be way more than 2 minutes. I'm sorry. Maybe probably like an extra 3. So we walk down, he goes in front of me, and I'm making eye contact with everybody coming up, like, look at me. You look at me, because if I'm dead, you know, you saw it right here. So we got down to the bottom, we parted ways, and I wrote him an email saying, I'm so sorry, I'm like proud of you for making a new life for yourself. I'm sure you paid your debt to society, even though you could only talk in the third person, in the passive voice, psychopath. But good for you. I don't think I'm the person for you. And that was it. I Googled him right after I hit submit, or hit send. He not only strangled her, he dismembered her and put her body parts into black plastic bags and threw them out in the desert. They caught him because he kept her head on a shelf in his garage. Dating, Match.com. So anyway, Google tells you everything now. So that was like, wow, that was messed up. And I couldn't tell anybody because it was too freaky. So but I had another month left. I'm getting my money's worth. I paid for 3 months, and I had a month. So I'm not wasting this, and I'm just gonna go for it. And I met a really nice guy named Eric. Eric, and we had a lot in common. We had kids the same age. We shared similar senses of humor. He could make me laugh. I could make him laugh. we shared similar views about religion and politics, and just it was easy. It was so easy to be with him. We went out for quite a while, or not quite a while, like a couple weeks. We went out, a couple weeks, and he was also really cute too. But we went out, and then it was the time to get busy. I'm glad my kids aren't here. So we made arrangements and our kids were about the same age. So we made arrangements with our ex so that our kids were with our exes, so that we could have time without worrying about children and making them peanut butter sandwiches or whatever they needed. And we drank Heineken beer and ate strawberries. And I shared with him my top 10 list of the top. The reason that got me banned was the top 10 list of names for men. And I shared that with him, and he laughed, and it was so nice. And then we got busy. You know what I mean? Young people, what do you call it today?
Fucking. That was her, not me.
It was that. So we were busy doing the thing, and he said, "I'm dying." And I said, "Oh, because I'm so hot." And he said, "I'm so funny." And no, he rolled off of me, and he was not responding. And I was yelling, Eric, are you okay? Are you okay?" And he wasn't okay. He wasn't responding. So I realized I put no pulse, and he wasn't breathing. So I pulled him onto the floor, and I was doing CPR for quite a while, so long that I was sweating onto him, and I saw my sweat roll down his chest. I broke the xiphoid process because that happens with CPR. And I was doing that, and I was exhausted and realized that nobody's coming. His wife, or his ex-wife, and his son, his 14-year-old, would come the next day because they were going to the Grand Canyon for a river rafting trip. Nobody was going to come to this house. And so after a long while, and time escapes me because I don't really remember, I realized that this is futile. So I stopped doing CPR, and I got my phone to call 911. And then I went back to doing CPR and realized he was gray. He was gray. He had a massive heart attack, and he died right then. The paramedics came, first responders, not worthy. They were fantastic. They took him to the hospital. I picked up his phone, and the last person he talked to was his ex-wife about the trip to the Grand Canyon. So I called and explained and met her, who I'd never met, his son, at the hospital. In the meantime, she had called his sister, and I met her there as well. And it was awkward and weird and poignant and one of the most important experiences of my life. After that happened, I talked to his sister, and I went to the wake, and he talked about me to his sisters. He was the youngest of 6. He had 5 older sisters. And after the wake and everything had calmed down, all the sisters were still in town. A couple of them live here. And they invited me over for dinner, and they wanted to know what their little brother's last day on earth was like. And it was raw, and it was wonderful. It was healing. They knew that he was excited for the future. He had met somebody, and that even though he wasn't here, he left having fun. Just the most remarkable people. My ex-husband is one of the kindest, smartest people I know, and one of my best friends, as is his wife. I love her, and she has to put up with him, so. But it all made me appreciate more than just my own selfish little world, and how come I can't find anybody? It doesn't matter. I have wonderful people in my life, and the two most wonderful people or the three most, are my children, my stepdaughter and her husband, and my grandchildren. I have three, and I have two human boys who are my boys, and I love them more than life itself. And that experience made me see that. I knew it, I just didn't look at it very much. So that's how it kind of changed me. Anyway, that's my story. I'm so sorry.